All right, hello guys. It is currently the ninth inning of the Orioles game. They're down 6-2. They're gonna lose. They're gonna be 19 and 24. Um, Pretty disastrous start to the season here. Um, a lot, very up and down. A lot more down than up. Some really fun games. Some miserable games. I mean, yesterday was a really fun game, kinda. It wasn't for the first six innings. Pretty horrible watching. I mean, they were gonna no hit the sixth inning, and then the big Kobe Mayo 3-run home run was awesome. Even though he fucking sucks. Don't think otherwise. I'm all the way out on Kobe Mayo. Can't feel it, can't hit. They got a real issue at third base. Um, Today I think was a perfect display or an example of the season so far. What your starter gets blown up early, and then you go 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Just they've been doing it all year. A lot of the same problems as last year, even though you have new players, which I have no idea why. I mean, you were 0 for 9 against lefties until yesterday when I mean, the big swing came off a righty, but technically that still counts as a win against a lefty. So you're 1-9, just the same problems as last year. This is to the point now. It was around May 15th or something when they lost 10 in a row last year, and the season was over in May or by the end of May. They're outperforming last year by like a little bit, which I guess is something. They're like 4 games or something better than they were last year, but by this point, but they're are 10 times as talented, or in theory, or at least lineup wise, not the whole team wise. Because I mean, you get Samuel Basayo, who's been the best, their best position player by far this year. He is I mean, the only thing that is, for the most part, one of the only things that excites me about this team. He looks like he's gonna have, I mean, a statue outside of Camden Yards one day. He's 21 years old and has been the most clutch player, the most professional at bats. Two strike approach is awesome. Everything. I mean, checking every box. Would like to see him elevate the ball more, a little bit more, but it'll come. I'm sure it'll come, but just by how hard he's hitting the ball. His I look at the other catcher, Adley Rutschman. Looks like 2023 Adley and first half of 2024 Adley before he got hurt, and then last year was dreadful. I mean, obviously, horrible year from him last year, but he looked back to form. Not trying to hit home runs. The approach looks better. Having a great year behind the plate as well, throwing out runners at the highest rate of his career. Working the count. Adley looks good. The offense really, I'm really not concerned about the offense that much. It's insane that they've been underperforming so much this year, but the pitching, I'm fucking terrified. The starting pitching, I'm fucking terrified. Um, I'll talk about that more in a minute. I'll just talk about what's been going right, I guess, right now. There's not much more. What's going right offensively. Taylor Ward got off to an awesome start, led the league in doubles at one point, and now he stopped swinging the bat. Um, Leads the league in walks and on base percentage, but who really cares? I mean, I just saw a stat like 32 out of 41 walks or something he has have been with nobody on base, and he's striking out looking like twice a game and walking twice a game. Um, Not a bad thing, but he can't be batting second. Bat him lead off or bat him deeper in the lineup. He's not. He finally broke out of our over 18 today with a garbage time double, but been frustrating me so much. He's just not swinging the bat. He looks like he wants to walk when he's. I've never seen anything like it. He swings the bat like 3 times a game. Don't know what's going on there. I think he'll hopefully figure it out. But you need to drive the ball. You need advanced runners. Walking is not gonna. He's like needs to be a vital piece of his lineup, and like um a lot. Don't know what's going on there. He'll may be fine. I don't know. He's looked really good in the beginning of the year when he was healthy, or when he was swinging. Sorry. Jeremiah Jackson sucks, but he was really fun for like 2 weeks. That grand slam and against the Diamondbacks was really cool. And the other grand slam, I think Houston, he had a really awesome 2 weeks. but the underlying numbers were always bad, and now he is bad. He's just looks overmatched. I mean, need Jackson Holiday back. He should be back in maybe a week, and then he'll be your everyday second baseman. And then maybe I guess Blaze Alexander will be your everyday third baseman. I like Blaze. I like Blaze. His underlying numbers are encouraging. He's been getting pretty unlucky and is 10 times better defensively than Mayo. That's probably the infield I would go with when Holiday's back. Don't think Jeremiah Jackson could be an everyday player, and Kobe Mayo definitely is not an MLB player. Um, Pete Alonso got off to a horrible start, then got really hot, and now is slumping again. Just need more consistency from him. Been ridiculously good defensively. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw that coming, but been playing like a Gold Glove defense, first base, but just very inconsistent at the plate. I mean, hasn't hit a home run in like I know it was like the longest drought of his career to start the season, or after his first one, and now it's another drought here. He's like three for his last 27, I want to say, or something like that. He was awesome for like that week or two. Now he's cooled off. Just need more consistency from him. Not really worried about him. The guy I'm not worried about yet is Gunnar Henderson. Really horrible start to the year. OPS is in the sixes. A lot of boneheaded plays at short. Um, a lot of stuff I don't like, but I've seen you would be dumb to be worried about Gunnar Henderson. I think you just seen too much good from him the last couple years. Um, he will be fine. He needs to turn it around quick though. Needs to find his swing. He will. He's always struggled earlier. I mean, been a better like the midsummer hitter than he was in spring, but hasn't been to this extent how bad he's been. But he will. He should be fine. Um, there's definitely an argument to move him down in the lineup. Taylor Ward, I'd either move. It's crazy Taylor Ward. He's batting second. I really can't get over. He's got like a slugging percentage in the threes, and you're batting him second. It's really because of the day with the bases loaded, nobody out, and then he lazy fly out and then Adley double play. But um, I'd probably go something like Ward one, Basayo two, Adley three, Gunner four, Pete five for the time being, until Gunner figures it out. Maybe ideally Jackson Holiday would come back and play good. Um, I guess a few other offensive players I want to talk about. Colton Cowser is probably I trust him more than Mayo, even though I probably shouldn't at the plate, but he's been one of the worst offensive players in baseball this year. Just can't hit off speed pitches, same as last year. I mean, more extreme. Don't know what to do there. He's their best defensive player, so I guess his defensive substitution at this is what his career has turned into. Leody Taveras was surprisingly really decent. Definitely cooled off now, back down to earth, but um, was really solid and won them a couple games even earlier in the year. Tyler O'Neill is encouraging, even though he swings at pitches I've never seen MLB players swing at. Um, a lot, obviously, he's not a very popular player amongst fans. I think there's a lot of last couple of days he's been working the count and playing good defense and strikes out way too much. Obviously, way too much swing and miss, but don't think he'll be playing this bad all season compared to a few guys. I think there's more to like there. Dylan Beavers, I've been a huge fan of forever. Scraps today with the oblique injury, which could be horrible. Obviously, we will find out in a couple minutes. I would imagine the severity of it, or if he's testing or whatever. If it's just like a precautionary, if it's a strain, then I mean he's gone for a few months. Or if it's a tear, then he's probably out for the year. That would be pretty detrimental because then you have Cowser, two out of Cowser, Leote, and O'Neill playing every day, which the way they've been playing is not sustainable. Um, I think that's everybody on offense. Don't think I missed anybody that I could think of. Weston Wilson, who really cares. He can't bunt to fucking save his life. That's the only thing I have to say about Weston Wilson is they've had him try and get down a bunt down a couple times, and he is the worst I've ever seen. I think that's everybody. Obviously, Mountcastle got hurt, which is it sucks, but I don't know where he would really be playing because he can't DH. That's the catcher spot, whoever isn't catching, and then can't play the outfield. Maybe I don't know. But and then Jordan Westberg, second opinion on his elbow. She should have. They keep trying to do these injection. Um, like the same thing they did with Bradish a couple years ago, where just get the Tommy John. I mean, he's gonna get Tommy John now. He's gonna be out for most of next year as well. When they could have got it over the offseason and fucking maybe been back. He probably would have re-injured himself with something else. But he is so good and would have solved all their most of their problems on offense if he could be the everyday third baseman. But of course, he cannot be because he is injured. Okay, now I guess I will talk about that one position group that has been surprisingly good, and that's the bullpen. I think you have to start with Rico Garcia, who's the best reliever in baseball. Um, Definitely showed flashes last year, saved Cade Stroud so many times. It felt like Cade Stroud walked the bases loaded, and then Rico came in and saved the day. I mean, inherited so many runners and cleaned it up almost every time. So Cade Stroud has a 1 point whatever ERA he had last year, but very fake ERA. Um, but I don't think anybody saw this coming this year. With 20 innings, one hit, just lights out. Like yesterday, coming in the eighth inning, which I actually like. I'll be going in the eighth inning a lot. Um, with Judge Bryce Bellinger and three out, three down, made it look easy. He's been doing it all year. Be he'll start. I mean, he'll be an all-star at this rate. He should be. Yenry, speaking of all-star, former all-star Yenry Cano looks back. I mean, having his best year ever. I think there's kind of been not enough people talking about how good Yenry Cano has been this year. Um, ERA is one something, but he just, I mean, the command. He looks like he did in 2023 when he was the all-star with King Felix. Um, Really encouraging. I feel like the bullpen is just bullpen kind of lives and dies by him. When he's rolling, they're good. When he's not, they are whatever happened last year. So it's really encouraging. Anthony Nunez, I think, is the most fun reliever they have. A little CNL Perez in him. I see just the fact that the stuff is so good, but I feel like sometimes he just has no idea where it's going. Um, I was really surprised that Albanez went to him last night to get the save. I thought it would be Cano, but I mean, he got it. It's the Ryan McMahon fly ball to the fucking warning track. Scared. I think everybody thought it was a homer off the bat, but it wasn't. Nice catch by O'Neill. Nunez got the save. The stuff plays. I've heard a lot of discourse about moving him to a starter just because the stuff really plays, and he has a good amount of pitches, but that's like a fantasy. That's nothing. But I'm very encouraged by what I've seen from Nunez so far. Um, is on the IL. Should be back by the end of May. He was as advertised when he was pitching. Um, and then you see that. Sorry, I had to pause that. Then you see that he's placed on 15-day IL with elbow inflammation, and you're like, oh my god, like the season's over, right? But luckily, there's no ligament damage. He should be back at some point towards the end of May. He said they really need him back because Housley the ninth, Rico in the eighth, Cano seventh, Cano slash Nunes in the seventh. That really plays. Um, Grant Wolfram, their highest leverage lefty, just got placed on 15-day IL today. Just pretty brutal there. I'm not that high on him, but he still has been. There's encouraging things about him. Hopefully, he could be back in 15 games. I doubt it. Um, Andrew Kittredge is bad. Keegan Aiken, whatever. I mean, we know who Keegan Aiken is by this point. Wouldn't trust him in high leverage, but sometimes he has these stretches where he carries the bullpen. So as a each of games has looked good in the time he's been here. I mean, the games he's played this year, I think it's only like eight, maybe seven, but he's looked good. They need him to be good. They need someone that could pitch high leverage positions is left-handed. Hopefully, he could be that guy. Tyler Wells is back. He has really sucked this year. Don't think he will forever. He's was so high on Tyler Wells. Really do not know what was going on. Looked good today. Hopefully, he can figure that out. That's really it for the bullpen. Like I said, the bullpen is a bright spot. By not great by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a lot of stuff to like there, um, for sure. And now let me get into what the real reason why, other than the offense and performing, but the main reason why the season has been going so poorly, and that is the starting rotation, starting with Trevor Rogers, who has just been horrible. I mean, we knew some sort of regression was coming. I mean, there was a lot of good luck last year on like batting average on balls hit in play, and they were his hard hit rate was bad, but I really did not see him having a 6 ERA. Maybe I thought maybe three something, but I mean it's still early. But it's always kind of the same thing with him this year, where he's like lights out for every inning but one, and then he just like walks a couple like today. Perfect example. The third inning, with the leadoff single, then you got somebody out, and the walk to Aaron Judge, and then I was like, oh, like it might be over. And then the walk to Ben Rice. I thought Ben Rice was gonna hit the um the big blow, the walk to Rice, and I was like, it's definitely fucking over. And then you got the ground ball up the middle, no chance. Gunner had to make a double play. You score one run, you're fine. Two outs, only only get one run, and you're fine. And the ground ball to Kobe Mayo, tough play. He wasn't gonna make it. No, he's not very good. Over there, so that's three runs, still manageable, just a little unlucky. And then you just can't get Trent Grisham out. You can't strike him out. Two strikes, and you throw a fastball in the middle, and he hits a home run, left on left. Trent Grisham, that's inexcusable there. Don't know what's going on with him. He's got to figure it out. Just missed a couple weeks with the flu. I've never heard of that. I mean, a pitcher missing, going on a 15-day IL for the flu. That's new to me. Really glad they didn't extend him after last year. They would have fucked up. Speaking of extending extensions, Shane Baz has looked horrible this year as well. Couple good starts, couple encouraging starts for the most part, been all bad. What scares me most about him is that it is the same. What's going wrong is the same that went wrong for him in Tampa Bay. The command is bad. He's giving up too many home runs, falling behind. Um, sometimes he just doesn't have command over a pitch, and it's I'm really scared. I really want Shane Baz to be good. I mean, obviously they extended him, and he's a fun player. The stuff is really fun. The curveball is really fun, but it has been a very rocky start to the year, and really, really running out of time. I mean, you really don't want to dig yourself in a much more of a hole here. You're already 5 games under. You really got to start playing better. Kyle Bradish looks like he's figured it out. His last start, he knew he would. I mean, I view him like Gunner, that they were just too good to not figure it out eventually. I think Bradish made really slow start to the year. It was just so many walks, but last start looked way better. Think he'll get going. Um, Not worried about Bradish. Should get going. Chris Bassett has kind of sucked, but they've somehow been winning with him. Um, Somehow they've been winning basically the last 6 starts they won or something. He looked really good his last game with Keegan Aiken as the opener. That helped a lot, I think. They might go back to an opener for him more so he doesn't need to face the lineup 3 times. Hopefully he can play better. I don't know. Brandon Young has looked decent actually. Obviously had the probably the worst start of all time. Any pitcher. I mean, like Dylan Bundy in what 2017 or 2018. I don't know. Whenever Dylan Bundy got like 9 runs without an out, but that's what Brandon Young tried to do against Houston. Like allowed like 11 runs. Other than that, he's been solid. Kate Povich, solid, but now he's injured. Don't know the severity of that. They said it's probably not bad, but we will see. Dean Kramer, just another injury. He is really missed Dean Kramer more than I thought I would. Um, he's still ways to go. I know to come back. Zach Eflin, obviously Tommy John after his first start, which he actually looked good. He actually looked really good. I think 4 2/3, and then he tears his UCL and is out for 2 years. Feel really bad for him. He worked all the way to get back. Said it's the best he's ever felt, and then gets injured his first start. So yeah, That's everything with the Orioles. I don't think it's over yet. I think they can still turn it around, but they need the rotation to play better. They need more consistency from the offense. They need to somehow learn how to hit lefties. There's a lot of shit that needs to go right, but I think it's just too talented of a group to not figure it out. I hope. Um, and yeah, yeah, it's not over yet. Um, they're only like 2 games out of the wild card right now. But I don't care about that. I'm not watching the standings on in May. How they're playing is the only thing that matters. Has not been good. We will see. These next 2 weeks are really important. Win tomorrow, sweep the Nationals, and we're good. I mean, if they could be around 500, the All-Star break, then I'm feeling good. Make a couple additions, get a starter, call Chicago, call Miami, call the Angels, get a starter. I mean, Sandy Alcantara has been the dream for a couple years now. I don't know what it would take. I love Nate George. I hope they don't want Nate George. There's a lot of fun prospects they have, but you need another starter. And that's all I'm gonna talk about the Orioles. Pretty disastrous start, but it's not over. Is my main point. Um, Now I'm gonna talk about these Ravens. Just some of my thoughts on these Ravens draft class. It's gonna be pretty brief. I meant to make this a while ago. Just haven't got around to it yet. Um, so yeah, I guess I'll start with Venga Ione, the first round pick. Um, think that's who was the consensus, who the fans wanted to go in, who was mocked to the Ravens the most. But then Ruben Bain falls, and I mean, I at the time was really hoping that they'd take Bain. They stayed true. I mean, they didn't pivot. Your biggest weakness was interior offensive line last year. Um, you addressed edge and free agency, a lot of money. They didn't pivot. Now that I've given him, I liked it at the time. I'm never gonna complain about drafting O line. Um, like it even more now. I think that's why I can't be a GM. I would have pivoted and took Ruben Bain because Ruben Bain really, really, really could be the best edge rusher from this class. The arm length, whatever. I mean, if he could be good, then we won't hear about arm length ever again, really. Yeah, he's drafted one selection after them that hopefully that doesn't haunt us, even though Venga is like a guaranteed good player, I think just about more than anybody in this draft. Um, from my understanding, he's like the best interior offensive lineman at pass protection the last like decade. There's a couple maybe things to clean up in the run game, but sure he will. Don't have much more to say about Venga. He'll be obviously starting at right guard this year. Can't I mean be massive upgrade from Falele. Still need a center. I'll talk about that more in a minute. Second round, you get Zion Young. Really exciting pick there. 2 years in a row going edge in the second round. Um, really like his character. I mean, what he brings character-wise, he scared the shit out of DaCosta. You could tell when DaCosta, I mean, when DaCosta was drafting him, DaCosta didn't know what to say. I mean, he just let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, just spamming, let's get it. DaCosta got all awkward. I wouldn't know what to say either. But I think the Ravens have been missing a guy like that for a while, just like a psychopath. Really good against the run. I know, very raw as a pass rusher. I know there's been a lot of talk that he would move inside on like obvious pass downs, which actually I think plays to benefits the Ravens. I think he's like a Draymond Jones replacement, and you could have him, Hendrickson, and Mike Green on the field at the same time. And now Matt BK as well, which is so massive. If Matt BK could be healthy week one, um, yeah, I think I mean, as good as the addition of Matt BK is as good as I mean you could possibly get to this defense. Um, Third round, I think, in my opinion, the most polarizing pick of this draft was Jacoby Lane. Didn't know much about him. I really slacked this year with like my draft prep. I'm gonna lock in next year. This was one of my the least I've looked into the draft in a long time. Just I mean the Ravens just make me so depressed, and then it's tough to but I gotta get over it. Jacoby Lane really polarizing for me at least. When I they called his name, I was a little bit freaked out. Just you see a trait C receiver that they reach on, at least from the consensus board, a pretty big reach, and you just, I mean, they just hasn't worked out in the past. I mean, think Miles Boykin, a bunch more of these like trait C, not much production, even though I'll get into why that's kind of misleading, but not much production in college. And but the more I've looked into him, like Cole Jackson the Ravens Collective, the podcast on here is I think is a must follow. Cole Jackson did a Jacoby Lane film breakdown, and he did. There's a lot of stuff to like about him. He did lead college football and defensive pass interference is drawn, um, and he is like he's not the most gifted route runner by any means, but he's like smart. Like their blind spots. He's a smart receiver. I think he could be at the very least he should be a good red zone threat. Um, definitely concerns with him being able to separate. Really, I mean, he's a jump ball, back shoulder. He's really good at contested catches. I mean, a true X receiver. I'll probably talk more about Jacoby Lane in a later podcast, but there's a lot to like, but it seems like it definitely could go wrong. Fourth round pick, I liked a lot more. I liked Elijah Surratt a lot more going into the draft, or I was more familiar with him, obviously from the Indiana team, and I think they I was kind of confused when they drafted him because he drafted two X receivers. I mean, two receivers that in theory would provide similar things, but I guess they just, I mean, Elijah Sarah just fell into their hands. They didn't want to pass on him, but they are different in many ways as well. I know Elijah Sarah is lined up in the slot. That's why I think Elijah Sarah could get himself more playing time than Jacoby Lane in year one. At least I think he's more versatile. You could line him up in different spots. Still a lot of separation concerns. Not the most fluid route runner again as well. We will see. There, the last fourth round pick where they traded up, they got Matthew Hibner, who I had no idea who he was, but the tight end, a lot more athletic than he looks. Um, think like Isaiah Likely replacement doesn't like nowhere near as athletic as Isaiah Likely or as like um can't jump as high, can't but like that role, the receiving tight end role, I think will be his uh, position. Um, hopefully it'll work out. Fifth round, Chandler Rivers. I think Chandler Rivers is a like out of everybody except Vanga. I think Chandler Rivers has the clearest path to starting week one. The undersized slot corner is a good aesthetic as well. Think like Pavon Young, obviously. Or Darius Washington played some nickel over the last couple years. But Chandler Rivers would have been a day two pick if he wasn't 5'9" or whatever he is. But he's just seems like a Raven. Plays really hard. A lot of stuff to like about him. Another fifth round pick, Josh Quavos. Don't know much about Josh Quavos. Seems like a pretty well-rounded tight end who doesn't do anything exceptional, but um, yeah, we will see with him. Don't really know too much about it. And Adam Randall, fifth round. Steve Bisciotti made the draft pick, obviously, which is weird, but I like Adam Randall. I only played running back for 1 year. I think was transition from receiver. I said on a podcast at some point on here that I really didn't want them to bring Keaton Mitchell back, and they didn't. Was now nowhere near as high on him as I think, or as I know a lot of Ravens fans were. This I think it is so important for a running back two or three to have any sort of receiving ability, and he just, especially with Derrick Henry, who obviously is not a very good receiver, and Keaton Mitchell just had no receiving ability, didn't show anything. Adam Randall is the opposite. He was a receiver, transition to running back. Um, Pass protection, who knows? He's never had to do it before. I mean, he's done it for 1 year, so that might be some trouble getting on the field. Year one, especially with Justice Hill, but the obviously looks like Derrick Henry's buff and he fast and not much of an analysis there, but there's a lot to like with Adam Randall. A lot of upside. Just a fun pick. Sixth round, Ryan Eckley, punter. Hope he could punt the ball. Good. Seventh round, Sean Benny. Another one that this is probably their biggest steal by I think it definitely is by the consensus board. Um, just didn't play that much at Michigan, I know, but when he was in the field, the numbers looked good. Haven't been too tapped in with him, but I know a lot of people like this pick. Um, should be should be. I mean, get some chances to rotate in maybe. Um, and their final pick was Evan Bierstein. Um, just he's like 26, so he better make the team or he is shit out of luck here. 27-year-old undrafted. I mean, 27-year-old rookie free agent does not I don't think pan out well. But he's more center competition. Now let's talk about center, I guess. You have Corey Bullock. You have Emery Jones. I can't imagine they move Emery Jones to center. I mean, you already moved him tackle to guard. Just I mean, that's how he would get the most clear play time is if he could play center, but it's kind of messed up. And I feel like that never works. I think like Patrick McCarry when they tried to move him to center and he gave Lamar a concussion like 5 years ago. And I feel like that never works. So center, I think I don't think the center is on the roster right now. I mean, the starting center week one, I do not think he's on the roster right now. Don't know who he is. I'd call the Bears definitely. Couple teams out there that I would be calling. You got that undrafted free agent that Ravens fans, Nick Dawkins, I think the Penn State guy, but I mean he's an undrafted free agent in a bad center class. Um, doesn't move me much there, and like he's like, really athletic. Like the RAS score was really good, and there's a lot of stuff that's like encouraging there. But that's like, why was he undrafted then? Like I don't know anything about him, but it's just not doesn't move me there. So I think you got to get somebody. Don't know who it is. Hopefully they have some sort of plan. Um, that's really the biggest question mark on the roster right now. I'd bring in another receiver as well. I just don't want to rely on these two rookies and Tez, who's very unproven, and then Bateman, who's proven but didn't do anything last year, and Zay's only like receiver I really trust on the roster right now. I would bring us Stephon Diggs. I think it's like a no-brainer. He's been my favorite non-Raven for the last decade, so I'm a little biased, but I think he's the perfect fit. Younger than DeAndre Hopkins, um, and you need a somebody with some sort of experience in the receiver room. You got unexperienced tight ends, unexperienced receivers. You got Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers, and that's really it. Um, Diego Pavia will be fun to watch. I hope he gets some playing time in preseason. That'll be fun. Um, and yeah, I think that's really it. All I had to talk about. Definitely wanted to talk about more, a couple things, a little more than I did, but whatever. And thank you for watching.